really storming out. My fro is gonna get wet. No one wants a wet fro. But we'll see what I'm doing here. I think I might just be fishing and doing all my usual things. I don't know if I'm going to go and do the back and forth with the cherries yet today. Regardless, it's going to happen. I just don't know if I want to do that today because I got other stuff I want to get to. And I don't want to be on this forever today, but we'll see. For now, walk around in the rain. Enjoy the stormy weather. Anyone move in since Rocco left? Bob Mail. Don't think so, or at least nothing jumps out at me for a name. My afro's gonna get soaked. Fossil. I don't own an umbrella. And even then, I don't really... Like, I always want to use them just for shits and giggles in these games, but, like, they take up me holding a spot. So, the problem is, I'd rather just have my tool out. At least in the later ones, you can have it as a quick swap. At least on Horizon. I don't remember if they did it in any of the others, but eventually you just have it as a spot, and you just quickly switch back to it if you really want to walk around with an umbrella. It just sucks because there is no switching of tools on the fly in this one, as far as I'm aware. Unless there's like some weird button combo I don't know of hitting. We don't get that. I think it's in City Folk. I want to say, but at the same time, I'm realizing the more I've looked at City Folk, how it's definitely why people didn't like it as much, just because of some of the weird like step back it took in certain things. Like, we have a lot to get for house upgrades in different rooms, but that one, City Folk doesn't do it. Like, it just does expansions and stuff, but it doesn't have as many things, or at least it didn't feel like it when I read them. And I don't remember if City Folk holds that many villagers in a place. I feel like it's even less than this. Back to 40. Okay. It was a good thing I started doing a different stream for stress testing, so you don't miss anything. You know, you probably... I mean, I saw that you popped in because I could see who followed and stuff on that account. A lot easier. But at least, just in case it was missed, I just thought it'd be easier to do a internet stress testing account so that you can still listen to VODs if you want something to watch, but also I don't have to keep putting it up on my main channel thing here. And also, it was more so if when I'm done with the stream of doing the stress test, I don't have this feeling of like I have to continue the stream. Like, I can go stop now, turn it off, and go do something, and then come back later. If I did it on my main channel, I feel like I gotta keep going. I don't want to just end it on VODs. But if I have a channel dedicated to just doing the stress test, then I don't have to feel like I need to keep, like, the show must go on kind of deal. I thought that doing that was... Yeah. I would, like, it would be a cool idea. The only problem is I don't have, like, a way to split audio so I can, like, watch my own stuff. Like, anything I want to watch while the thing's going. But if I could and the internet became stable, I would be fine with it being, like, a, like a like triple TV or something, like a VOD thing where I just run whatever I've uploaded to YouTube overnights for just something to be on at night for people who either get up early or are up late at night, or it's whatever because time zones. But I like the idea. It's just that there'd be a lot of repeats. There's only so much content that I feel like that I have up, but also so much I have in playlists or that I even want to put up or use because some of the really old stuff I don't like. But it's not going to happen every night right now. It's just that the only reason I decided to do that this morning before I went to bed, because I was up late, of course, was I saw a pretty rough dip in my internet after I was done streaming. And so I continue to monitor it. It was like, it wasn't as completely dead as it usually gets, but it was still a rough drop. So I decided to run the stress test, but I didn't want to do it on my main channel. So I did it there. And we only had we had out of the, I don't know, what was it, like 9 hours or something it ran. It actually only dropped like 400 frames, which is really good so far. That's probably the best I've seen it after a long period of streaming. So I hope it'll continue to be that way, where we can go for a long period of time and only have minimal drops, but you never know.
Don't come!
A man has fallen into the river in Lego City.
I'll be honest, I underestimate how long it's gonna, because I don't count my VODs or anything. Like, I don't count the hours of each video thing. I underestimate how long a series is gonna take on certain videos. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start up Resident Evil, but it'll probably be something else when I get up. Now, if I had done that at like 12, 1 o'clock, like I would do, during the streamathon, it'd be over. But I didn't realize in a short amount, and even in 9 to 10 hours, we were still on Resident Evil. Yeah, I got the gift. I was in the middle of eating, and then I wasn't at my screen, and then I saw it. But, of course, it's not going to be downloaded today, because it takes me forever. But it's there, and I screamed with pizza in my mouth. That could have also been because I bit into a hotspot, but that was, you know, who knows. But I was like, oh yeah, well, I'll put the Resident Evil stuff on, and then it'll go into whatever. Then it'll be whatever when I get up, and then I'll just end the stress test when I get up. Wake up, and it's still me and John just having a time with Resident Evil 5. It is so funny, the different emotional situations that it goes to where John gets frustrated. I seem always frustrated through that whole thing, and it's not even at that. It's just, it always, like, certain times when I listen it back, I'm like, God, I sound like an asshole. It's like John's trying to do something, I sound pissy about something, or I don't like the way John's trying to explain something. I was like, man, I seemed grumpy when we did this. And then it would flip-flop, like John's like, I don't want to keep playing, and then after he wants to keep going, and I don't want to keep playing because I've had enough. Yeah, I woke up and rolled over, and I saw the Jill part happening, and I don't remember the conversation of what was going on. I think we were just getting crazy. All I know is at some point I pulled out a rocket launcher and blasted her in the chest, and I was like, didn't even kill her. It just nearly killed me. And then she shot me, and I died. That would have been the world-renowned Pigeon Blend. It's funny too, is listening to it at times. It's like I just sounded cranky through it, but it was funny was we were like, we're going to beat this on professional, and then we're going to rush through it on amateur. We never did that rush through amateur. We did it before off stream once, but we never did it post professional to like say fuck you to everything that kicked our ass. John always says, and then he always like, I would love to have a reason to go back to one of the Resident Evil games, like 5 or 6. And I'm like, well, there is one reason, but it's not a good enough reason, is the fact that we beat Resident Evil 6 on professional, but we never beat it on, I think, what was it? Or did we beat it on No Hope? I don't remember if we beat it on No Hope. I think we did. We beat it on the No Hope, so no, I don't think there would be any reason to go back. I thought we only did professional, but I think we did No Hope, which... or whatever the fuck it was called, which completely negates having any sort of power-ups, which we never even got to use. Because at first I was like, oh, well, we have a reason. We never played on that. And I was thinking back, I was like, no, we did. Jesus, I'm trying to search on YouTube. Oh, yeah, we did do it on No Hope. Good. But no, we don't have a reason to ever go back to it. Except for if we felt like playing it on, like, normal or easy difficulty, which that was also discussed, was playing RE6 on easy just to fucking decimate everything. Never did it. I'm going to put this away for now, but I haven't found all my dig spots. I've only found one, and I've been distracted. So I'll do a bit of fishing. Probably switch over so we can get to some other stuff. I woke myself up, like, multiple times while I was trying to sleep because I had rolled over right when that gel fire was happening. There was so much flashing into my eyes because I didn't have any way to cover my eyes, and the screen I had showing the video was right in front of me like an idiot instead of off to the side. I kept waking up to like, oh fuck, my eyes. I could see it even when my eyes closed. I was like, I'm dying. Oh, I'm almost dead again. I also woke myself up just hearing me, like, I had my headphones on but lowered, but I could still hear myself every so often being obnoxious or something loud being said. I had planned to stream a little bit earlier. I didn't want to start as late because it's not because of my lack of sleep. My hip has been killing me, so that's why I haven't been sleeping that great. My leg's been bothering me, but I took stuff and it's been easing up now. But I was so distracted trying to take care of family and personal stuff today, and then I was like, oh right, it's already just about 7 o'clock. I should probably get around to starting. Oops. Can't wish my fault. God, I keep forgetting how sensitive this button is. Barely even pressed down on it. I'm like, I wanted to try to finish up Fable and maybe try to dive into Rune Factory if I have the mentality for it. It's like, I want to play it. It's just that when my head isn't on right with it, I get frustrated at it, and it's more so at myself. So I'm like, I got to make sure I am not, like, foggy-headed, not thinking straight as well as I could be when I play it, because I'm just dumb. But yeah, I thought it would be fine to just do. And the problem was when I set up the stress test channel, I was like, oh, right. I can only either do a follower mode or emote. I don't have the protection of a sub-only thing here because I use the sub-only as my protection because no one's going to sub to me. So I was like, good. That means I won't get idiots. And then I was like, well, I'll just put it in emote only for the other one because then at least if someone's going to do something stupid, it's just emotes and I don't care. I could have put it on like a timer followed thing, but even then, I've done that for this too, and bots will follow and then wait until their designated time, and then we'll send the message across saying, hey, you know, you could buy yourself some followers at this address that I can't see because all links to me are stars. I never can see a link, and that's fine. I don't think there's ever been a link I care to look at when it's been sent through on Twitch, so. So it's always funny is it just looks like someone came in and tried swearing at me. But like, but just they're all stars. I guess I don't want to talk right now. I'm trying to fail at catching an eel. I didn't fail. Now he's done wanting to talk. I like, though, that when Crime Boss unlocked on Steam, everyone who was putting comments so far, they're already like, this is better than Payday 3. I'm like, yeah, well, Payday 3 really dropped the ball heavily when it came out, and even still is struggling to kind of get its shit back together. It's like it's getting there. They're slowly getting back to where they want, but they unfortunately had that horrific server issue, and then after that got fixed and set them back, they then shot themselves in the foot with their not so great progression system, and they're like, and like I know Payday 2 I don't think had a lot of starting levels to begin with, but even the ones they had weren't all that fantastic, and like their gameplay, like there are some things that were improved, but they clearly still are lacking in certain aspects. I think certain, and like now there's some more animations. I remember I played it a little bit, it was like, oh good, they added some animations to this and this, but I'm like, it should have been shit that was already from the get-go if you're trying to improve and build upon Payday 2. I mean, it might have had more, but it had less because of a lot of their issues. Like, you couldn't even play the game on launch. At least Payday 2, for the most part, you could play offline. The fact that, like, they want to do the always online thing was like, you knew it was going to be trouble because if they have server instabilities or problems and you can't even let anyone play to start trying to work on shit, was just not good. I know they're adding an online or an offline mode. I don't know if they did yet. They've been working on some stuff. I haven't been back to it. Yeah. I think they said they changed it now. I don't know though, because I haven't played in a while. But I don't know. There's just some aspects to Payday that I'm like, they could have easily benefited from some other things. Like, I know that Crime Boss isn't that great in some departments, but it adds some interesting animations that are fun. Even if some people would hate having a bagging animation, it's just like, it's a cool thing to do for a heisting game. And the choice, I think they put 2 bag carryings now in Payday 3, but I think it should have been a thing anyway. The idea of losing your primary to carry 2 is an interesting idea. there were more animations and Crime Boss to be interesting enough. And of course, the single-player roguelike thing that they did, which would have been cool for Payday to have tried to do something like that. But I think they reverted or changed their Payday 3 progression to be like Payday 2, but I don't know. Because it was awful. It was like, do challenges. Like, doing challenges to unlock shit isn't like, it's not the worst, but it really just makes you not play the way you want to play. Like, even when I was like messing around with Zane when we were playing the World War I game or whatever, it's like, do these challenges. Like, okay, they're not the worst thing in the world, but it does make you have to play a different way for a moment to do shit. Fine, take it. Oh, good. They'll have to pay you. Have any room now? Okay. Plus, Payday 3 was like, they had like all this hope and promise of like, we're going to add some new gameplay things and way to get into shit that you haven't even seen or done, and every level is going to be unique in its own way. And it was like, already I'm doing the same thing in each one, which again, that's fine. I'm not like Payday's got a pretty much a all the time same gameplay loop. But it was funny. It was like, oh man, now look at this like mini game style thing that they're doing, and then I realized like their lock picking mini game and shit like that was from their other fucking game that they did. Like, it wasn't even new. Like, I knew I wasn't expecting much in the way of Payday, but they really did try to sell it as like each one of these heists are going to be different, unique in their own way. I'm like, there never are. It's always the same. It's either be stealth or loud. But, like, they definitely improved the like the stealth mechanic. I'll appreciate that. It's a lot nicer because before you barely could do anything when you didn't have your mask on. I still think I like Crime Bosses a little bit better, where it's like a 3-strike rule in the sense of if you kill anyone or break a camera, you're like 3 strikes, 4 strikes, whatever the difficulty gives to it, and you're out, or then they start getting really alerted. The other one, I don't like Paydays, like, you got like 3 or 4 fucking pagers, and that's it. Like, and that's even after you've subdued them. That's not even like it would make sense if you, like, I don't know, killed them, and then you'd have to answer a pager, but it's just always this stupid pager system that I don't, or like radio system that is fucking awful that I just do not enjoy. That's why every time when we play Payday, it's like, let's do stealth. I'm like, I don't enjoy it that much. I didn't mind it in 3, but 2, not my favorite for trying to be stealthy. I want to see what this dresser looks like. But hopefully, you know, down the road, Payday 3 will be great. It always takes a while. Like, Payday 2 is kind of whatever, and then after, like, a million DLC, eventually it's like, okay, it's not so bad, and you just wait until it's... And definitely not what I want. That's what I thought when it said modern. It will, then it'll go on, like, ridiculously cheap with a shit ton of DLC. I'll give it a try. Guess I don't want to talk. Trying to sell. You can't talk to me when I'm in a selling mood. I think the one thing, though, I do wish that for Crime Boss to have would be a slightly better health to armor type system. Like, instead of just straight up health, because I feel like when shit hits the fan, you are screwed pretty, like, quickly if you're not careful. It's better than what it was, but it's still pretty rough. And I know it's early on, so I feel like the better characters, you're way better off, but it's still, like, can be pretty brutal. And the AI is like teammate killing, like them to kill is a little rough. Sometimes it doesn't feel like they do anything, and they can be a little too dumb with their like. It's great that they can carry 2 bags and do all that shit. You can order them, but they're a little. They're not that great still. The AI for these co-op games are still not quite there, but they can be a little dumb. They've gotten better. Before they would never drop the second bag and fight. Thank God they start doing that now. Because before, they would just stay with 2 bags and try to fight with a pistol, get overwhelmed and die. Now they actually try to throw their bag down and fight, but they still sometimes get their ass kicked with an enemy right in front of them. Or they don't go into cover properly. But they're getting better. Plus, like I said, it is nice that they will try to loot and rob the shit with you. Payday is like, if you're not, damn it, if you're not playing with friends at all, you're fucking doing everything on your own. You are grabbing all the loot, bagging it, and bringing it back yourself. And if you're stealthing, if you're loud, then of course you just throw it on their backs and hope that they slow walk their way over. So sometimes they're really slow in crime bosses when they carry 2 bags, because I'm like, geez, that guy's all the way in the back. If he just kept pressing forward, he would make it. Sometimes he's like, I don't want to move. I'm scared. But anyway, other than that, for YouTube, it's already long past, but today they had the Nintendo Direct, and it was probably the first time in a while that I heard about it, mainly because it wasn't overwhelmingly negative by people. There was some people who actually enjoyed it, and I'm like, finally. It's just nice when there's games for some people and they're not being pissy. They're still mad because they didn't get what they wanted, but it's like, it's just nice when I see more positive feedback out of things than just straight up, this is bad, you didn't give me what I want. Of course, like half the stuff they showed that isn't a full-on Nintendo product, like Zelda and stuff, I'm excited for when it comes to PC and or other consoles. I still have yet to play the Metroid games, so I can't really have a say on 4. Everyone was like, I know people have been waiting for that stuff, and I have not played any of the Metroid Prime style games. I had planned on getting the trilogy or whatever it was back on the Wii way back when, but never happened. Wii or Wii U. I think they brought the first one to Switch, but we haven't gotten the other two yet, I don't think. Not sure if I'd like them, just because I'm like, they seem like they could be my style, but I also feel like I would just be not good at them. Who knows? God damn it. Stay looking in like one fucking spot, please. Got a big Mario Party game, which I haven't played any of the new ones. Any of the ones that have come out that are new. Like, one of them was pretty rough. The one that they did where they made the Mario Party with some of the old school stuff was pretty cool. It's not nearly as great, and they've, of course, a lot of Mario Party these days are so softened up. I still really like the old school brutal ones that are like, you know, they had no problem kicking your ass and kicking you while you were down. Now a lot of it's still a lot nicer. It's still not great, but it's still, they definitely nicened it up still, which is fine. But like, I still like the Mario Party that was a bit rude to you. See how that one goes. I mean, it kind of sucks for the people that got the last Mario Party. I forget. I don't even remember all the. It's like all the names. There was Super Mario Party, and then it was like Mario Party something. And the last one, everyone was hoping for DLC of more retro maps, and they fucking said nope. People thought, oh, they're going to put all the retro maps into that Mario Party with more of the other mini games or throw some other stuff in. It'll be cool. Nah. Why the fuck would they do that when they could just make a whole nother one? And then throw Mario Party 1 and 2 maps in. One map from that, one map from 2, and then a bunch of new ones. To make a big old collection of it. Like, just this big old thing. Back then, it feels like when you say we got over 100 mini games was a big deal. But saying that now, it's hard to say how interesting that's going to be for Mario Party because some of those mini games tend to suck. There's just some really, really boring ones that they've had in the past. But hey, if it's fun, I can't wait to watch people play it because more than likely I will not pick it up unless I have a reason to. And I don't exactly have like a Mario Party group of people to play with, so. That is for a lot of those games. I would love to pick them up if I had the extra money to, and also the groups to play them with. I just don't exactly have the proper grouping for it. Zelda looks interesting. And they're using that Link's Awakening art style, which I think was like the, kind of like the idea was, let's see how people respond to it, and if they like it, we'll make our own, like, other Zelda, because I think this is, like, a completely different, like, new Zelda that they're doing, not a, like, a remake of anything with that art style. It's an interesting direction they're trying with that one, where it's like instead of you actually get to play, I think it's Zelda, but you're not like just sword wielding, hitting everything. You're using like echoes and shit to create your surroundings to navigate through stuff, whether it be enemies or objects. The Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, I think it was called, was like the first thing they showed. That looked pretty neat. I always wanted to play one of the, I forget which one. It was one of the Mario Luigi games that I wanted to play because I did like the RPG aspect, like the Super Mario RPG stuff that I never played, and I still want to actually maybe one day play through all of Paper Mario, a thousand year door or whatever. They showed like a farming type game that intrigued me enough. It's not exactly farming, but farm was in the title. But it looks silly, and I was like, I'm in. I'll play it down the road when it's not on the Switch, because it definitely looks like it will run like ass on the Switch. There's a couple other things that looked interesting. I think I saw, what was it, like Romancing Saga or whatever, 2, I think it was called, or 3. I don't know where they're at with it, but I did like the, I always liked the idea of the Saga games. I'd never really played fully through them. It's just that some of them being so old school looking and rough around the edges completely makes me not play them because I'm going to get confused. I don't remember if it was like 4 or 3 or 4 or what the hell they were calling it. But every time I look at them, I'm like, I want to play it. But I definitely would be more keen to more updated graphics. So the fact that they kind of did that, I was like, okay, I'll probably play it. At least give it a try. A little fucking thing on that. I was wondering. I was like, am I seeing something? I caught a snail. I don't think I've donated you. Can't remember what it was called, but either way, I'm excited for a lot of games that are coming out. It's just a matter of what my wallet will say for them, if I have it by the time or the free time too, and hoping to make sure my internet isn't having any troubles. There's so many different things to play. I completely forgot, too, I was going to do a Discord poll the other day for what we're going to play next for our next Classic Tuesday. Completely forgot, because that's just me in a nutshell. And by pick the game, I mean pick the year that the game came out. Wide range of years to pick from, because I think I picked 4 or 5 different things, so. At this point, I don't know what people dictate to be classic, but for me, I'm like, well, if it's at least like, I don't know, 10 plus years or so, I tend to pick like, because I think I had something that was like from 2014 was on the list. I'm like, it's like 10 years. There's a lot of different ways. It's all like what people feel like calling it. For me, I'm like, if it's on the 360 and eventually slowly easing into Xbox One territory and PS4, but for now, it's a lot of 360, PS3, and below. So anything from that to that came out around that time and further back is when I usually. Okay, you know where I'm coming from. Here, take a pine chair. You like when you're having a conversation with someone, they just hand you a chair. I don't really want a pine chair, but thank you. I'll sell it. So a lot of my stuff ranges from like just different years, but I think the 360 era and PS3 eras right now where I've crossed the line is like where I'm like, if it's released on those systems and maybe they've been brought and remastered or whatever, but if they've been put on that system first or in that year, that time frame, then it's usually like fit for that's what I'm going to play for my quote unquote Classic Tuesday. Because there's some games I've been just wanting to play and I've had no idea when to squeeze them in, so I'm like, fuck it, put it on for Tuesday. See if we like it. If we don't, fucking move on. It is funny, though, that I keep jumping around for Classic Tuesday. We have a severe lack of getting to the second game of anything that has multiple games in them, in their series or name lines. Like, we've played, like, fucking Red Faction, Dead to Rights, Jak and Daxter, all these things. We've yet to ever get to, like, the second one. We've always just, all right, we played it, cool, moved on. Only one that's technically, I guess you could say we played the second one would be we got to Shadowheart because the other one was like the first game, even though it's not technically called at that time Shadowheart. It's probably the only one I think we've gone to the next one after playing the original, like that other game that I always never know how to pronounce it, so I just call it something, and I forgot. But other than that, I've yet to really get to the second things. At some point, I mean, I guess GTA, but like they're their own like things each game. So yep, Klondike bar. It's like no, not even close. I know how it is. I just never say it, or I forget exactly what the fuck it is because I'm like the one with the K, Special K. Yep, Special K. But that's the only one that we've gone to the second one, which was Shadowheart, in a sense. Like that's probably all we've done other than GTA, I guess. Getting to their next games in their series, but other than that, we haven't. We never continue on. We did Red Faction, never went on to the second one, and all the other ones that I have of Red Faction games. We played Jak and Daxter 1. Surprisingly, I managed to get through. Never went on to the next one. Dead to Rights, still have other ones to play. Never got to it. Parasite Eve, never went to the second one. Dino Crisis, which this was like early on into that. That was more of an October game, but we never went on to the second one. I have a tendency of being afraid of 2, apparently, or the sequels and or prequels, whatever they are, of these games, depending on the situation. Soon, though. At some point, I'll get in the mood and start doing that. There are times where I do really want to just stick to PlayStation, certain things like that, like PlayStation 2 and original Xbox games and things, because I'll jump around and I'll be playing a lot more 360 games and stuff, but it's only to take a break because some of those older games, they don't, sometimes they hold up very well, and other times they don't hold up so good. And they can be a little exhausting or tiresome. So I just want to like play something that's a little bit more in the modern, but not quite. You know, it's a little bit more fleshed out. Plus, I've been liking the 360 era stuff a lot. Like we played that XCOM type game, and I'm like, you know, as at times clunky and rough around the edges as it was, I was like, you know, I do like the style of like this era of games where it was like just nothing too crazy, you know, before the whole everything had to be open world trend and all that shit. Here you go. All right, 300,000 left to go. Paid off some more debt. One day we'll have no debt on this, but still more debt. So much debt.